Dear Cancer, you lose. Everyone who's ever known me has described me as the most competitive person they've ever known. Well, the joke's on you, Cancer. I guess you didn't know that about me. You've been a part of my life since I could remember. My dad was a St. Jude employee number 63. He started there in 1962. I remember he would take me to work with him, and I saw the young children with marks on their bodies. I asked him about those marks. He explained that those were places where they had received their radiation. Dad saw you spread your evil to innocent children when they had little chance to beat you. He administered the radiation to thousands of children and had to see most of them be beaten by you. Yet he kept his meek and loving and peaceful demeanor. I think he knew that St. Jude was in the beginning stages of something extraordinary, and he was right. Then around the time I went to college in 1989, Dad was diagnosed with cancer of his own. He fought for over 18 years with multiple battles of lung cancer, lymphoma, and melanoma. I always saw him as invincible. However, in 2007, he was gone. I really thought this would be the end of you in my life, and for a while it was. Everything was going right for me. I had a good job. We were traveling as a family. Everyone was healthy. I felt invincible, just like I saw my dad. But one morning in June of 2019, after struggling with reflux for a couple of months, I felt something. I felt a mass in my abdomen, and I knew that something was wrong. This is usually where most men ignore their bodies, and for fear the doctor will give them some bad news. No one wants to hear your name. Thankfully, I refused to cower to you. I walked into a gastro office on a Friday morning. They obviously couldn't fit me in that day, which turned out to be God's plan. There was nothing to be found in my stomach. Instead, I went straight to the ER. You know, this is another place where you think that you can dissuade people from taking care of their bodies. The long wait times are a big deterrent, but not this day. There was no one in the waiting room. It's like the staff were waiting on me to show up. Within a couple of hours, I had a CT scan and a possible lymphoma diagnosis. I decided right then that if this was the day that we met face to face, then you had a long road ahead of you. So Cancer, this was the day you re-entered my life. But it was also the day I learned how incredibly lucky I am. Within hours, you were overshadowed by love and support from my friends and family. Your specific name was diffuse large B-cell lymphoma. Well, my name is Jeff Earnest. You may be tough, one-on-one, but I have a backup. Throughout my story, you will notice I mention my friends, my family, my team. Cancer, you should have known better. Friends came to the hospital that night. Others helped my family as I had tests and procedures. More brought food, and everyone reached out to us with prayers and support. Cancer, you really didn't think you were going to win, did you? We were never alone in dealing with you. I walked into West Cancer Center for the first time and saw a former employer and dear friend who encouraged me and assured me that I was in the best place possible. He was so right. Another dear friend, a warrior who has defeated you twice, was there at West, helping us and guiding us and educating us through the treatment plan. I soon met Dr. Robert Johnson. Dr. Johnson gave me hope. His words are tattooed into my brain. I intend to cure you. This was not a guarantee, but I had a doctor who thinks like me. He intended to win, and I intended to win. So it was time for kickoff, or as in tennis terms, it was time for the match to begin. While I have the confidence and determination of my father, I'll acknowledge that you're a tough opponent. You scared me in the beginning. The weeks between the original CT scan in the hospital, the day I received my treatment plan, I had time to think. I did think that death could be where we ended our fight, and it worried me. You smacked me hard after the first treatment. But again, I had my team on hand. They came to the house to cheer me up. But you were ahead for the moment, and I had to go to bed. Your best friend, chemo, was too much for me. At my second treatment, just the thought of how sick I felt in the first round made my blood pressure bottom out, and the wonderful staff at West intervened before I fainted. It seemed like you were dominating the first set of this match. I began to think of the important life events ahead. We were just weeks away from taking our daughter Julie to college. I would not let you make me miss this. I decided I would be there, even if I had to be taken in a wheelchair. The battle was on. Despite what I was feeling and the poison taking hold inside of me, I was determined to live my life as normally as possible. That's who I am. Cancer, you will not take that from me. We began to learn when to take each medicine in order to make me feel my best, and I was able to push through. In August, 1 week after my second treatment, we took Julie to school. I was tired. I took it slowly, but I was there. Incidentally, I was the first one to take a nap in her new dorm. You did not take this away from us. Each chemo appointment brought the dread of starting over, but also gave me more hope. Dr. Johnson would update us after each CT scan and PET scan. The tumors were shrinking, and on October 8th, 2019, I was declared cancer-free. You lost. After I finished my last 2 treatments, I began to feel better. My hair grew back, my energy returned, and on October 19th, 2019, my team surprised me with a bell-ringing ceremony. But you weren't done with us yet. 11 months after my diagnosis, our 19-year-old daughter, Julie, was diagnosed with follicular lymphoma. She had been experiencing stomach aches and went to the doctor for help. Once again, listen to your body. This threw me into dad mode. I couldn't believe it was real. How could this happen again? So Cancer, you took us back to West Cancer Center and Dr. Johnson. He also couldn't believe this was real. His treatment plan was to administer low dose of chemo and let her body kill the rest. I'm happy to report that you lost that fight too. My girl gets her fight from her daddy. Cancer patients often ask, why me? Very few of us ever get an answer to the question, but I did. I had to know you. I had to experience you. I had to beat you. I had to do this first for Julie, so she could have the hope and confidence to fight you. But I also had to have cancer so others would listen to their bodies. If you see something odd, feel something odd, or just have an idea that something is amiss, go see a doctor. Cancer, you can be a formidable opponent. but you ultimately lose. We're all stronger than you. We're all fighters and courageous and there for each other. Hey, Cancer, you lose. Game, set, match. Jeff.